Hola amigos de Vericu, hoy estaremos hablando con Mikael Sandorf, Andreas Johansson y Tomas Jutenfäldt de la legendaria banda de Melodic Death Metal Gates of Ishtar desde Suecia. Welcome, Mikael, Tomas, Andreas. How are you all doing? It's a
Thank you
pleasure.
very much.
It's a pleasure having you all here today. And yeah, I'm gonna start with some questions for all of you guys.
Yeah.
So let's start going back to the 90s, right? You released 3 albums between what was it, 1996, 1998, around those times. What was it like back then playing metal in Sweden during this boom of melodic death metal and all these bands?
I can try to answer that question. It's a hard question. It's a couple of years ago, and the music scene has changed a lot since it's almost 30 years ago. But yeah, it's a completely different thing. I think that we mentioned it in a couple of interviews ago that I mean, the way that you as a band releasing an album in 2024, it's so much more easy to get out with your music to the whole world in just a couple of hours. Back then, everything was about trading stuff between each other in the old-fashioned way, recording stuff on cassette and mailing it to each other. But I mean, it was very fun. We was a part of the uprising Swedish scene. We were in contact with all the bands like Dark Tranquillity, In Flames, At the Gates, Dissection, Mörkerinning, Katatonia, all of those bands that at least I have been following ever since because the difference between Gates of Ishtar and many of those bands is that Ishtar was laid to rest for many years, and a lot of those bands has kept their flame alive, and it's so great to see, and that makes this opportunity for us to go out and play live and to try to record some new material. It makes it so it's very important for us, and it feels so good, and I think that that speaks for all the three of us.
That's great to hear, and it's great to have you all back on the scene and on the stage and everything. So back in, what was it, 2016, 2017, you released a remastered version of your albums. You also released them in vinyl. How was it going back to this material after so many years and working on it again for these re-releases?
Yeah, it was actually, we wanted to do it as a thing because Oscar passed away, and we wanted to take some of the money from those releases to put in a trust fund for his son Charlie. So it was both for us personally, it was really important that would happen, and also it was for the fans to get an opportunity to get, because we weren't that satisfied with a couple of the covers from the old albums. We wanted to have more unity, and therefore we had the guy that came in and painted the new album covers for the vinyls. And yeah, it was maybe the thing that started the process in our heads, that maybe we should do something more than just doing this release. And then when the question came from House of Metal, if we wanted to play there, it was like, okay, yeah, the spark and the interest for the band to do something more was already like there was something like glowing there in the fire, and then everybody was all flames about doing something again. So yeah, it was a really important release, I think. When I think about it, it probably was that thing that started the way back for us to come back and play again.
All right, so yeah, I mean, a tragic passing there, your drummer, but it's did you to hear that story also, how you were able to help out his child, but also when it is to re-releasing your albums, you were able to present them in a new with a new phase, basically, right, with those new covers and those new art.
Yeah, and also we were able to have I don't remember. I'm really bad at remembering names, but a really, really good engineer that could sit down and do remasters of the albums, and I think he managed to tweak them a bit even more, like for a better sound. So I think the quality became a better product for the fans and also for us as well, because it's fun to listen to those songs, and they have a little twist to it for us as well. So it's, yeah, I think it's good for everyone.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, same songs, but there's something different about it. So that's always good for everyone.
Yeah, and for me, the vinyl mix that was made for A Blood Red Path, it sounds amazing in a good sound system, I gotta say. So I was really proud to hear that after all this year. I mean, the CD version sounded good as well, but there is something special about the vinyl version, I think.
Yeah, there's something special about vinyl. Haven't had the chance of listening to that one particularly, but I'm looking forward to getting it and listening to it.
Yeah.
So you started playing back live again, was it last year?
Yeah, November 2023, we did a gig in Umeå at House of Metal.
House of Metal, and that was late last year. So how was it getting back to the stage and playing those songs again?
It was yeah, you go ahead, Andreas.
Yeah. Just a short. It was really exciting to get the energy and the spark back. We got the question from it's an old friend of ours that are like the general for that festival. So he asked us to go there. It's not so far from where we live, so it's not a really big no effort and project to do it. It's easy to fit it in your normal life, So, but I don't think we had to rethink it so many seconds before we decided to answer yes, and then we came together. I don't think that we managed to rehearse together as a complete band before the live show, but different parts because things happened, people got sick and stuff like that. But we were really, really excited, and I think that we were nervous and anxious, and we're really looking forward to it. And it was like an what do you say, like an emotional explosion to go back on stage with these guys. And the most interesting thing is that it doesn't felt like a year had passed, even though it's like 30 years since we actually stood on stage together. It was an amazing experience.
That's great. And you're gonna get to do it again live. You have a few festivals booked for the summer. So do you plan on getting more gigs, any more shows this year?
Oh, we'll see what happens if the right offer should arrive and it fits everyone's schedule. We're definitely open for that. But as it is now, we have 2 festival gigs, as you say, booked. So it's the Mexico and also in the Czech Republic a couple of weeks before Mexico. So it's going to be great. Perfect.
Yeah, and Mexican fans have been wanting to see you all play for many, many years, and you're finally coming to Mexico to Candelabrum Festival in September. What can fans expect of this show? I mean, other than a great comeback, but how could you explain it to the fans?
Well, I think they're going.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
Yeah, they're gonna get a great show for sure, and I think what will make it great is probably the Mexican fans. And we've heard a lot of good stories about Mexican fans and the energy levels from the crowd. So we just have to do our best to match that, and I'm sure that we will. And hopefully, no promises made, of course, but hopefully maybe we can bring a new song as well.
That's great to hear. And yeah, I mean, fans in Mexico can be a whole different thing than in other places. So at least expect that from them. So have you ever been to Mexico before? Any of you personally or with any of your other projects?
No, the closest I've been is Florida, so I haven't been to Mexico at all. But I think I can speak for all of us when I say that everybody's like really excited, not only to go over there and play for the Mexican fans, but to be there and experience hopefully the culture for a couple of days and eat the food and meet the people and just have a great time. And we hope.
Excellent. I mean, other than the great time at the festival, which is to be expected at Candelabrum, what are you looking forward to the most in Mexico? You mentioned culture, food, anything particular?
I just want to get to the real authentic tacos. That's what I look forward to, except for the gig itself, of course. But the food, definitely for me.
I think that also one thing that they mentioned when we had that meet and greet at the House of Metal Festival in Umeå was that the Gates of Ishtar time that we had in meeting our fans in Umeå was that the 30 minutes or something that we had was so filled up with what do you say, like kindness, and there was such warm meetings between the fans and all the guys in the band, because I think that I'm really looking forward to meet all the people that has actually showed up to the gig in Mexico. I mean, if you just consider the thought that we released this when we were basically kids when we released the first album, and to have the opportunity to go there and perform that same kind of music for the new modern metal crowd, that's just amazing. So it will be so much fun to have conversations with all the people to discuss music and the metal scene and everything. I'm so very much looking forward to it. Perfect.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I mean, you're going to have a great time. Food's going to be great. You're not going to be disappointed. So that's good. And yeah, I mean, the warmth of Mexican fans, it's not only the energy levels, but it's very friendly, and you're going to notice that right away. And
Looking forward.
Yeah, you mentioned the possibility, hopefully, maybe a new song. So do you have any plan for new releases in the future?
Yeah, we are actually working on new songs, but we don't want to pressure ourselves like, okay, we have to be done by this date. But we were really amazed when we sat down and started working on new riffs, that how fast we got back into the vibe and the spirit that we used to have when we played and recorded songs together. So knowing that and having that feeling, we know that we can do this again and do it in a way that we feel comfortable, and that will be a good product in the end for the fans. So yeah, hopefully maybe this summer we will have at least a couple of songs ready, and maybe we can play one or two songs hopefully live when we come to Mexico. But we don't want to promise too much, you know. It's better to come in like from the side, you know. Nobody's expecting it, then it's going to be even more fun, you know.
Yeah, no, it's better to just come prepared with your material that it's already amazing. And if there's a bonus, I mean, everyone's going to be happy about it. But talking about that new material that you're writing on, I mean, many years have passed. As you mentioned, the industry is very different. Also, the music nowadays, there's a lot of new music, a lot of new styles, and your style is like classic melodic death metal, raw, aggressive, more than most modern melodic death metal. Are you staying 100% that sound? Are you mixing a few things? I mean, many experiences and many things have passed for you to get inspired.
Yeah, but I think it's hard to, because yeah, we talked about this before within the band as well, that you still have the roots from where you're coming, like music wise. You have your influences when you were a child and you heard a lot of bands for the first time that made an impact on you, and that will always be like one of the like founding ladders in your musical journey, when you have like your idols from when you were young, and that we have kept within the music as well. I know the genres will change, but usually it's because it's new people that comes in and have their new take on what they heard like 5 or 10 years ago, but we still have the same basic albums that we think, oh, these are the great albums that we still share is really strong. And I think that's the same way when we start writing music. It's not like, okay, what do the kids want to hear today? We play it like we want to hear it, and that's the same thing we wanted to hear like in the 90s as well. So that's probably the end result is going to be not exactly the same, but in that kind of vibe, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those were your founding influences whenever you started playing music, and most of us don't ever grow out of it, and we listen to it for many years, and that's our favorites. And even those bands, they inspired you. You inspired newer bands that got inspired by you, and whoever inspired you inspires others, and that's the beauty of it, right? Beauty of music.
Yeah.
And it's great. So what do you see in the future for Gates of Ishtar? Like you told, a few shows, probably an album release sometime in the future. I don't know, how many years have you planned ahead?
Yeah, but I think that as Mikael said, we we are on. I mean, we're a 5-piece band. Our original bassist has his own full-time job touring with his other band. So we are actually not staying in the same city as well, because me and Mikael are in the same place, and Tomas is like an hour with a plane down south. So it's much more difficult than when you know when you all went to school together and you didn't have anything to do in the afternoons, no girlfriend, no children, no job or whatever, you know. But the flame is here, and we will definitely try to make the best out of it. But as Mikael said, we will not force anything by any time schedule or something. But definitely, I think that's a vision for all of us. To go out and play when the opportunity is right, and to take it easy. I mean, it's been 30 years, so we're not in a rush to release new music, and it will come, and you will definitely hear where the roots are for our creative songwriting process. It will be like a Gates of Ishtar modern version, but the roots are still there, very clear.
That sounds amazing. Perfect. All right. So, I mean, we're looking forward to seeing you in Mexico for Candelabrum. We're excited about you guys coming. It's going to be a great festival. Anything else you would like to say to your fans?
No, just basically that we can't wait to come to Mexico and meet the Gates of Ishtar fans there, and maybe make some new fans as well. Maybe bring a new song if everything works out, and it's going to be a great time.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for the interview. And a todos, muchas gracias por escucharnos en Vericu. Nos vemos pronto con Gates of Ishtar en Candelabrum. Muchas gracias a todos.